Hello everybody and welcome to the video. Today is episode 10 of the Zero2Hero series, where we take this little tiny baby account right here and we take it to the tippy top. I'm talking about Guardian and Arena. I'm talking about RTA, guild content, whatever it is, wherever it is, we're going to conquer it. I mean, you've heard the intro like 1.5 billion times. What you haven't heard yet is my recommendation for checking out the Arena Grind series in which we're doing. We got started on that thing 2 episodes ago. Like last week. we got started on it last week, and I'm having some fun with it. We built our arena defense team. I think for now that arena defense team is a success. People refuse to attack me. That team has been up for a couple days now, and I haven't been attacked once. And actually, I lied. I did get attacked once, but the defense was a success. Got attacked, they lost. And it's like, this team is not even like fully done yet, right? Because it's like these units aren't maxed out at all. I mean, their stats could look way better, but for now they're working. Once we get some grindstones again, they'll look tasty. They'll look delicious, but for now, it is what it is. If you want to get some more details about this whole arena grind and climbing the arena ladder, go watch episode 1 and 2. I'm telling you, you're going to want to watch it now, because 3-4 months from now, when you're wondering why you see in your battle logs, hey, Drop Knight or Boris the Animal completely wiped out your defense, you're going to be mad, and you're going to look at the video and you're going to be like, oh man, this guy's killing it in arena, because, you know, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Jokes. But I think it'd be cool to see just like, hey, he started off in arena here, is not really that experienced in arena. Now he's really experienced in arena and he's doing great, and he's he pays attention to that stuff. But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun journey. And if you want to be there for it, jump on now. You know, it's like Noah's Ark. You don't want to be, the unicorns and all that didn't make it to the Ark. That's why we don't have unicorns and Bigfoot. Joking. But we're not here to talk about Arena Grind, even though I just spent the last minute or two talking about it. We're here to talk about Rift Raid. Because if you guys didn't watch the last episode, we had started off on creating our teams for Rift Raid level 5, right? Rift Raid level 5 is our next big journey. Reason being is, it's pretty obvious. I don't know why I'm even about to try and explain it to you. But grindstones are obviously such a big deal when it comes to any account, when it comes to beating the arena, beating any of these dungeons. I mean, grindstones help immensely. I mean, I wish I could show you, but like, I think one example that I could show you right now is like Fran's rune right here, where it's like, this rune for now fits her, but it's like, look at how good this rune is, especially for a 2-month-old account. I mean, it's just like 12 bonus speed, 24% defense, 17% HP, 51 bonus attack. I mean, that's pretty good. And imagine if all her runes had that, she'd be crazy right now. And she kind of is okay. 132 bonus speed, 522 defense, a good amount of attack, good amount of HP. She could be far better if she just had more grinds. All of these units could be far better. I mean, heck, even this Riley could be much better if she had more grindstones. And again, it's just like your dungeon times would be faster. I'm talking about your Giants teams would be a minute long. Your Dragons team a minute long. Your Necropolis team a minute long. All your teams are going to be minute longs, if not less. And when you decide that you want to enter the arena, if you haven't done so already, you're not going to have that hard of a time, because it's like the rune quality that you're going to have is going to be really good, and the stats on your monsters are going to be really good. And it's just like, when you get late into the game and you start using runes like violent runes, you're losing a lot of that stat bonus that runes like, I don't know, Fatal give. Like, because Fatal, a 4-set will give you 35% of attack. But it's like, you want to switch over to Rage runes, because it's like the crit damage is much better to a degree. But it's just like, you don't want to lose all that attack stat. So it's like, the grindstones will help kind of cover what you're losing here and then give you more, right? So it's like, grindstones are just so much better. It makes everything easier and more consistent and fast. And it's like, that's what we need for everything. Again, the goal is to enter arena and RTA, and we can't do that without grindstones. So that's the journey right now. But like I said in the last video, we started making teams for it, And I mentioned that I was going to work on team number 1. And once I kind of pretty much finished team 1, I was going to give you guys an update. Well, we're here. So you can imagine that team number 1 is pretty much done. There are like a few little minor things that we can still do. But I figured, you know what? Let me show you what I got now. And you guys can be the judge of everything that I'm doing. So let's get to the Rift Raid preparation stage. So if you look all the way to your left, you'll see the first of 3 teams that we started working on. Now, I will say, just like the other teams, a couple units have been moving around, right? I moved a couple units around even on this team. On this team, boom, this is what I've changed. Everyone is still the same, except instead of having Tyron, we do have Shimate. Now, if you've never laid your eyes on Shimate, Shimate is a very interesting unit. He's kind of like Tyron in a couple ways. Like, for example, he has the same skill 1 as Tyron, where if he lands a critical hit, for some reason he gets a crit rate buff, which it's like, okay, what's the point? But, whatever. I mean, I can see some usage for it, but whatever. But a skill 2 is a little bit different. So while they do share the 3 attacks with the Cyclone, land glancing hit thing, that's kind of where it ends, because I think with Tyron, he will decrease attack bar and all that stuff. But for this guy, he just does increase damage according to attack speed. So he does a little bit more damage, which, like, we need, because it's like, I want to keep Tyron tanky, so it's like I had to move around some of Tyron's runes, because I wanted him to be a little tanky. So here's what Tyron looks like. I need to move his artifacts around. His artifacts don't fit him right now, but I thought Shimate was a better option than Tyron. Especially when you get his other skills, where this skill 3 is a single target, where he creates a hurricane around the enemy and removes all beneficial effects, whatever, absorbs attack bar, whatever. The inflicted damage will be increased by 30% if the enemy had no beneficial effects. The enemy will have harmful effects, but he will do big damage, right, on this one, because the enemy doesn't have any beneficial effects on them. So it's just like he can do good damage and do what Tyron was there to do, which is land glancing hits. Again, and I'm going to repeat this every single Rift Raid video, whenever you're attempting Rift Raid, there are just some debuffs that I feel like are must-haves. Like, make sure your team has these debuffs. One of them being glancing hits. You want to land glancing hits. If you don't, there are so many things that can happen to you. 1, the boss can crit on you, and it's just like your squishies will die. 2 is just like the debuffs that the bosses are landing are not good for you. I think 2 of them off the top of my head are Stun, which obviously you don't want to be stunned, and Oblivion, which Oblivion, if you don't know what that does, it prevents you from using passives. So that's why it's like, out of all the teams, you're never going to see Veramos on there. Where is Veramos? Dude, I don't know what's with the connection today, but you won't ever see Veramos on there, because the only reason you would bring Veramos is because of his passive. But here's the thing, he's going to be Oblivioned. So it's just like his passive is useless, meaning that the only reason he's there is for these 2 skills, which is damage it off of enemies' max HP, and then skill 1 damage. It's like, you're only bringing him for the leader skill at best. So, you want to place glancing hits, and when you do build your own solo R5 team, bring as many units as possible to land glancing hits. The more units you have that can land glancing hits, the more likely you are to land it on a consistent basis, making all of your runs consistent. Don't just have 1 or 2 units. Probably have like 3, 4, heck, even 5 units across all of these teams that land glancing. So that's important, right? Make sure you have the glancing. So Shimate brings the glancing, plus he does big damage. And when you consider what the other teams are going to do, it's just like with defense breaks and brandings and all that stuff, and even with Ryok's co-op attacks and all that, this team hits pretty hard, and I think it could take a little bit of a beating. So really quickly, we're going to go over the runes of everybody, and I'll tell you why they still have certain runes, or why I've changed runes around or whatever. But again, with Shimate, I thought he was better than Tyron. Plus, he has a good speed lead for Arena, I believe. No, he has a good speed lead in general, right? Yeah, for Arena, though. 24%. So, for this first team, let's kind of go over the units that are on this team. Obviously, first is Fran. Fran is always going to be a good unit. If you haven't built her yet, for some reason, I suggest you build her now for Riff Raid. I mean, this is kind of what I would say to kind of aim for. But, like, if, like, reasonably, I know some of you guys will just be like, okay, I can only get 100 speed. I can only get, like, around 900 attack. And then she's at, like, 20k defense or HP. And then, like, around the same defense. It's, like, fine. But, with Fran, she's in the front line. She's going to take most of the abuse. You want her to be fast so she's pulling off this third skill. And you want her to be tanky in case something happens. So fast, tanky, and high attack. I mean, the main stats that you're going to worry about are her speed, her attack, her HP, and then defense, in my opinion. Resistance can come afterwards if that's something that you're worried about. But as you can see here are her runes. She could be much faster and much tankier if I had grinds, which as we begin to farm Riff Raid level 5, I'll say this, and I'll probably repeat myself again throughout multiple videos. When we first beat Riff Raid level 5, we might barely beat it, and our runs might not be as consistent. But as we begin to beat it over and over and over and over again, and we lose a battle here or there, we'll still get grinds, which we could throw the grinds into our Riff Raid team, which obviously, since they'll have better stats, they'll hit harder, they'll be able to take more hits. It's just like, our team will get better and be able to beat Riff Raid through the grinds that we're getting through Riff Raid. So, I mean, even with my other account, after beating Riff Raid for the first time, I barely beat it. I very, very rarely changed around any of the units, and I just put grinds into all the units that were beating Riff Raid, and now it's like, it runs consistently. I've never lost a battle since. So, things will happen. I don't know how else to put it. But Fran is pretty simple. There's not too much to get into with her. Konamiya. So you're probably wondering why Konamiya is here, and you're probably wondering why she only has one artifact. I've been farming artifacts for like the last 2 days non-stop. I mean, dude, I have gotten over 20 million mana today that I've just put into conversions and all that, but we'll get into our artifacts. Actually, I don't think we got into Fran's artifacts. So this artifact right here gives her defense. She's decreasing all the damage she's receiving from dark units by 7%. Her attack and defense up effect increases by 9%, which is good. Her healing is based off of attack. And then she does additional damage by attack and HP, which is whatever. Her other artifact, skill 2 recovery plus 14%, awesome. Crit damage taken minus 5%, awesome. I kept re-rolling this one. I think the conversion on it is asking for like a bunch of conversion stones and then like 500k in mana. I'm not doing that anymore. Skill 1 accuracy is more than enough for me. If she can land that attack break with her skill 1, that'd be awesome. Additional damage based off of HP. So, it is what it is. Konamiya. Swift energy. I wanted Konamiya to be fast and tanky. I don't really care. She also has a good amount of resistance, but 131 bonus speed is pretty good. 722 defense, really good. And almost 20k HP. So, here it is. This rune is actually, I think, really good for her. I don't care too much about accuracy on Konamiya, because I don't care about landing the stun, and I'm not bringing her into arena or whatever. So, when the Konamiya gets her 2A, because you know she's getting a 2A eventually, heck, you never know. That might be the event that they release mid-September for the 10th anniversary. Some new 2As. But until she gets her 2A and she gets something new potentially, it's like, this is the only thing that you have to worry about landing on any of her skills. I don't care about that. Not that you could even stun the boss. So, accuracy doesn't matter. If that could have been like, I don't know, like flat HP, that'd have been nice. But, because I know you can't put defense. But this is a really nice rune. I mean, it gives her all the tanky stats that she needs. Again, don't care about the accuracy, but it is what it is. This one, no. I'm sorry. Oh, man, no. I could give her more speed. I don't know what that's about. But, I'll mess with this later. I didn't know that her speed was that low. There's so many things to farm. This one actually looks pretty good. I decided to grind out her attack for some reason. I was like, heck, I can't change it. Might as well give her a little bit of attack. So, speed plus 22, flat attack, HP plus 15%, some accuracy. Again, whatever with the accuracy. I don't know why I can't avoid it. Speed, defense percent, resistance, and accuracy. And then last but not least, tons of speed, tons of defense, tons of HP. Not bad at all. So with her artifacts, what I wanted to aim for was, like for this one, the water attribute artifact, I wanted to aim for decreases damage taken from just whatever. So crit damage taken minus whatever percent, damage taken from dark minus whatever percent, like all these things. I wanted to add that, but I was farming all day, and it was impossible to get. Heck, this artifact that I have on her was the best I could get all day, right? Which gives her some HP, additional damage based off of defense, which I don't care about. Skill 3 recovery plus 6%, which is good. That's exactly what I wanted. Crit damage minus 2%. Again, just conversions all day. And then life drain, whatever. So, again, in case I haven't mentioned for some reason, Konami is here to help cleanse debuffs. And she also has a nice skill too that allows one of our members to attack again. So, Rayok and Crow, we're going to just kind of slide through them. Here are Rayok's runes. I was thinking of changing them around, but it is what it is. Here is his thing. I tried to aim for counter-attack, co-op attack damage increases, and then managed to get some decent substats alongside it. But he's just there for raw damage and co-op attacks. Crow, on the other hand, he's there for his branding, his big damage on a skill 3. He also has a co-op attack, defense break here. Here are his runes. Can't really complain. I could change that around. I could take the accuracy away if I wanted to, and put crit damage. Again, just things I gotta farm more for. This is gonna be a lot of farming here. The artifacts, attack plus 100, speed up effect, whatever. Crit damage as the enemy has less HP is really good. Additional damage by 4% of attack, and then damage taken from water. This artifact's been on him for a while. This one is really good. Crit damage as enemies more HP, max 13%. Skill 3 accuracy plus 4%. Life drain plus 13. And then skill 1 accuracy. I mean, this is perfect for what we need him for. I already went through Shimate earlier, but just in case you need to see his runes, here are his runes. And his artifacts. On turn, 1 target crit damage plus 3%. He has that 1 turn target crit damage thing on his skill 3. Life drain 21. Additional damage by 67% of speed. He's built fast. Crit damage as an enemy has more HP. This one, additional damage based off of speed. Skill 1 accuracy, which I can roll that out. First attack crit damage plus 15%. And crit damage as enemies more HP. You get the point. Last but not least is Akamimir. Akamimir is here for his skill 2 and 3. I mean, he does pretty big damage on here on skill 2. Skill 3 does damage based off of harmful effects. Plus, he has a speed lead, which is going to be really nice for Rift Raid. I know his stats don't look the most appetizing. They could be better. Don't get me wrong. But, I think it's just like, he has the runes that I want him on, especially for Giants, because I don't want to start taking runes off and then moving them around just for specific usages. I mean, if he works well in Giants, cool, and then if I can make this work in Rift Raid, also cool. But I know he's not fast. He doesn't have too much attack. A lot of crit rate. An okay amount of crit damage. He is what he is, but promise you, he's going to do fine. Crit damage minus 10%. Damage taken from fire minus 11. Damage dealt on water plus 8. Crit damage as the enemy has less HP, max 12%. Crit damage as enemies less HP, max 18%. Skill 3 for crit damage plus 11%. Attack and defense up effect plus 10%. And own turn, 1 target crit damage plus 3%. All these are going to be really helpful for him. So, holy crap, that's team number 1. Oh my gosh. I would say I've never talked so much in my life, but I have. You guys know. But as I mentioned earlier, I've changed units around on certain teams. So for like team 2, while we do keep Amarna, because Amarna is actually pretty good. He has branding here, disturb HP recovery and defense break. Yeah. And then this one cleanses, heals, and then revives, which is going to be really nice. We changed out Ryomen Sukuna for Nangrim. If you haven't seen my video on Nangrim, go and watch it. Nangrim hits hard. he hits hard. I mean, we made a video, he hit for over 100k just on like a regular Joe Schmo boss. So it's just like, and I think that was on a skill 1 or skill 2. I mean, just to quickly show him, ignores all damage reduction effects, which whatever. Skill 2 leaves a branding, disturb HP recovery. And the branding he'll put the branding if the enemy has higher max HP than him, which the boss will. And then his passive, whenever he does damage, he has a chance to ignore the target's defense just completely with every attack, and it increases up to 50% based off of the harmful effects. The enemy's going to have tons of harmful effects, so he's going to ignore defense on top of his big damage. I mean, this guy is insane, dude. So I like this team number 2. I think this is going to be permanent. And then last but not least, team number 3. Some things have changed. We took out Charlotte. We took out the Light Harg. And yeah, we changed some units around. So the new unit is Briand. He's a resistance lead. He has resistance lead of 30%. So he has better resistance than the other Harg. And I like what he does. So skill 1 disturbs HP recovery, whatever. Skill 2 is an attack and defense break, and he recovers allies up by 10% of his max HP. So it's like every time he uses his skill 2, which will be every 3 turns, it's just like if I build him with as much HP as possible, just tons of speed, defense, HP, and resistance, he'll heal allies. So it's like we got another heal on the team. And then skill 3 revives a dead ally and evens out the HP ratio of all allies. In addition, recovers the HP of all allies by 15% for 2 turns. Really good unit with resistance lead. The resistance is going to be very helpful. We already went through Colleen and all that. Tosi is new. How many heals do we have, by the way? We have a lot of support on this third team. I mean, we have Briand, we have Colleen as a healer. Briand is a healer. Ravidi has a shield and defense buff. Huahi has a heal and an attack buff. It's like we have a lot of damage, but Tosi is pretty new. So what Tosi does is skill 1, he decreases defense, and then again you get the whole sort of Supreme Skywolf whatever thing. Skill 2, he increases his attack speed, sort of Supreme Skywolf. Skill 3, he attacks all enemies 2 times. If the enemy has harmful effects, he deals 25% increased damage, and then he also does 30% more damage if the enemy has a dark attribute, which I believe the Rift Raid boss is dark attribute. And then you get the skill 3 that activates with a certain chance with all these. So this one ignores all beneficial effects, which doesn't matter, but I think Tosi can get out a good amount of damage. Plus, we can use Tosi in other stages of the game. So these are my team. At best, worst, whatever scenario, it's like we might change out Tosi. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten a good chunk of progress done. I mean, our first team is ready. We're good to go. We just need to get Team 2 up and Team 3 up. Which, when you look at some of these units, it's just like the twins are built, Shannon is built, Huahi and Naomi are built. We have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units to build, 6-star. We're actually not that far away. We're pretty close. We're closer than you would think. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update because it's just like there are a lot of units to build and a lot of explaining to do. But obviously the next goal and the next video will come out, I don't know when, probably 2 days from now, 3 days from now, when we have the second team built and I get to show you guys how I built these units. Obviously artifacts are being moved around, runes are probably being removed and put on new units or whatever. Point is, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of farming to be done. It's going to be intense, but we'll find a way. So I hope you guys liked the video. Here, how about this? Quick summoning session. How about that? Let me select a list. Dude, they're not giving me Abigail. I need Abigail. Dude. 23 scrolls. Boom. Okay. Boom. I'm gonna need some Hargs. I'm gonna need some Hargs for the skill ups because we have how many Hargs? I don't know. It's not letting me skip. Come on. Ooh, Water Yuji. Or Water Yuji. Water Megami. Sorry, I forgot. Like, this is my 50th one. This game is a fucking joke. Oh my gosh. We literally did a summoning video. Dude, I don't know what's with the connection. We did a summoning video the freaking other day. We got like 3 of those suckers. And we had 2 of them back to back. It was stupid, man. Oh my gosh. At least we're getting some Hargs. We need the Hargs. We got an LD scroll. We ain't gonna get shit. What? No way. Okay. Hey, I ain't gonna complain. We might actually, hold up. Do we? We don't have him, do we? No. Okay, this is new. I must have summoned. I think I summoned the light Yuji on it. No. Never mind. Let me shut up. So, holy crap! I didn't expect that. So, I guess that's good luck. It's the blessing of calm to us, I guess. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of this. Bye. Peace. Have a good night.